If you notice that your Polaris 360 is not getting full coverage in your pool, you may need to adjust the hose on your Polaris 360. The optimal hose length is 6 inches past the furthest point, or 6 inches in front of the furthest point of your pool. In this video I'll show you how to adjust your hose length. As you can see, this Polaris 360 is a little bit too long. The hose length is stretching past the recommended area. It's getting a little bit caught up in the shallow, so I'm going to go ahead and adjust the hose length on here, sticking out by about 6 feet from the pool. So you really want the Polaris 360 to reach about to right here, and you want it about 6 inches from the furthest point of the pool to work properly. This one here is about 6 feet. I'm going to take one whole section off. So each hose is about 6 feet here, so I'll just take one whole section off of this particular Polaris 360, and it should be fine. So let me pull this off here. You notice these mender nuts twist the opposite direction on each end. So to loosen this one I have to turn it away from my body. The other one I was turning towards my body. And then we take the whole nut off. We'll swivel off here. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick this one on here. Then I turn it away from my body to lock this particular end in. And you can see when you're trying to get that hose on, there's a notch here. You have to actually get the hose over. And again, remember that they go in opposite directions on each side of the mender nut. One goes away from your body, one goes towards your body to lock and unlock it. And here, just moving towards the shallow end of the pool. And this is the area where it's getting hung up at with the longer hose on there. Again, I just removed one whole section here. See it heading towards the shallow end there. I should be able to hit that corner and turn out. That's a lot better. Before it was getting stuck. See, it goes all the way over to the deep end step area. Okay, here I'm at another pool where I need to adjust the Polaris hose. I'm going to go ahead and just take 2 feet off of the hose instead of taking a whole section off. In order to do that, you just want to disconnect it here. So this is the hose we're going to cut from, the first hose coming out of the wall. Go ahead and mark 2 feet here. I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 feet off here. I'm going to remove the hose. I'm going to cut that section. This particular one goes towards me to loosen it. You just want to use a sharp razor blade and you want to cut the hose. Should be fairly easy to cut right through. And you want to make sure it's clean so that you can reattach it no problem. I usually like putting a notch like that, that way you can go in no problem. Okay, so you take the hose and we're going to go ahead and reconnect it to the wall disconnector. Quick disconnect. With that notch, it's going pretty easy. Just make sure it's tight. So that's how you adjust the Polaris hose. You have to take a smaller section off. And you can see now I have this Polaris adjusted perfectly here. I'm going to go to the furthest point of the deep end and turn around. There it is right there. You can see there's no slack in the hose here. So that's a properly adjusted Polaris 360.